Welcome back to Let's Talk Careers. I'm so excited to bring another incredible guest. Today we are meeting with Ahmed Nadzry, who is coming to us from the AIESEC organization. We're going to be talking about all things gap year student opportunities. And we're going to learn a little bit more about what it's like to be the president of a nonprofit organization. Welcome, Ahmed. Welcome to Let's Talk Careers.
Hello, hi everyone. Hi Maria. Thank you for the for the invitation, and it's a pleasure for me to be here in this space.
Super excited to meet you. I met you at a career fair not too long ago, and I really appreciated the programs that you provide. So before we jump into those different gap year programs, I'd like to take our audience down memory lane for you and take us back to when you were a teenager and how you made those career choices.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of history that goes behind what I've done in my high school years as well as my university that decides on where I'm at in my career right now in AIESEC. So when I was a high school student, I decided to actually study mechanical engineering as one of my major career decision, just because that I'm a very technical person. I like hands-on things. And I started very early in my high school years. In 16, 17 years old, I was already focused on mechanical engineering. And believe it or not, our family actually met a German lady that kind of talk about how engineering is so focused in Germany. There's a lot of job opportunities in Germany as an engineer. So we kind of decided our career based on this understanding of career opportunities that are available in countries like Germany. So again, believe it or not, we decided our career based on this simple conversation that we had on someone coming from Germany. So I did pursue that interest, taking IB, International Baccalaureate in engineering. So I took higher levels in chemistry, maths, physics, and economics as a way to actually develop my portfolio as an engineering student. I also got some opportunities to study in Manchester with masters, for my masters and also for my bachelor's. But I was so interested to actually learn from different cultures, where I ended up taking an opportunity to study economics to 3 different countries, which is Singapore and Dubai. And during my experience in one of my studies, I was also offered an opportunity to do a very short business program in the US. And again, I took that opportunity to actually explore that country, and I actually took a whole gap year, because during that period of time, I realized that I wanted to take this opportunity, not just for the sake of a summer break, but really venture into this world of career profession. And that's where I actually ventured to the US for a couple of weeks. And I actually continued my journey to different parts of the world to really understand what are the economic needs of the country in terms of professions. I did manage to visit Germany as well, and also some Asian countries before I actually go back to actually continue my studies in economics. I think that's a very short. So after that, like when it comes to my career, somehow I got introduced to AIESEC when I was studying. So AIESEC is a youth organizations that encourage people to actually learn about other cultures. And that is something that kind of hits me, because going to different countries is, of course, a part of my interest, but learning other cultures was that key point that somehow connected me with this profession that I'm doing right now.
I find that really interesting, that the whole, from how you had that one conversation that kind of opened up your mind to this new concept that you might not have thought about before, but kind of bringing it into your education. You did a bachelor's degree in economics, and now you're
Yes.
working with AIESEC. I know that many students are being told so many different things about higher education and degrees that link to careers. Can you connect the dots between studying economics and the role that you do right now?
I think looking back, yes, I can do connect it a lot, because in economics, we learn about behavioral economics. We also learn about social histories, how the people can communicate and work each other's. We also learn about the economics in developing countries and developed countries. So understanding about human resources and how does it connect to GDP as well as policy making. It's something that's really connected to my way of work. But however, I do remind a lot of students as well, but you just have to actually select a lot of the opportunities that you go to, and then you look into what might you be interested in? Just giving you an example, I actually studied business administration during my first year and second year. But there was a switch moment when I went to the US and I went back here. I realized that that's not something that I would like to study in. So I changed my education background to economics because I'm looking for more of a hands-on numbers heavy as compared for a business administration role. So I think that's how I ended up. I kind of pursue it with a lot of AIESEC work, and I think I enjoy it a lot, and I'm staying in that opportunity.
Can you remember that first interview you had after graduating? Do you remember sitting and being asked that question, why do you want to do this job? How did you respond to that? Because I think that's a question that many young graduates they're not prepared for, but the way that you were able to identify, no, this business is not working for me, I want to change to economics. You already demonstrated adaptability, and you also demonstrated resilience, where some students might have dropped out of university. You quickly found your way and found yourself into a degree that felt right for you. So now sitting in that job interview, how do you answer to that question? Why are you the right candidate for this job?
That's actually a good question. I still remember when I applied for AIESEC a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, the question that they were asked is more about what you can provide in terms of experience, in terms of curiosity, in terms of knowledge. And they didn't ask me about my background because I think AIESEC, the way they recruit is completely different. They are very open when it comes to accepting members. But I do remember when I applied to a finance role in a big electrical company back in Malaysia. I was doing the finance management. But I think one key factor is, again, the interview process was very straightforward. And the reason why I think this is the case was that I initiated conversation and I showcased interest. So that was the main reason. I think looking back, a lot of the job opportunities that I got offered is the job opportunities that I kind of seek with relevance to my experience. And I was able to actually tell a story on how it connects to my needs. One example that I had was when I applied to that finance role back in Malaysia, I was telling them that I like finance in the way that I was working in a couple of startups doing finance. I was doing energy in a couple of startups. Of course, I changed my career in terms of business administration to economics, but I do keep to a very connected storyline about why this decision is taken, so that there's logical connection rather than just a mistake. Even if it is, but there is this storyline that you're selling or connecting to them that drives that sense of passion. And I think that's very important skills to have, especially if you're applying to universities, any job opportunities that you have.
I completely agree, and you bring us in perfectly to my next question. What kind of stories can students tell after their experiences at AIESEC?
So the big point in AIESEC, we have, like when we mentioned, when you join AIESEC as an organization, is that we develop peace and fulfillment of human potential. So human potential can be very broad. For you to understand what your potential is, you first need to understand yourself. And how we enable this is through cross-cultural understanding. And that's, again, a very big topic. And a lot of AIESEC experience is all about experiential learning. So giving you an example, when we actually send people abroad, it's actually a 6 weeks or 8 weeks experience. The reason why we do this is that for you to really understand yourself and your capability within that period of 6 to 8 weeks, rather than short 2 weeks, 4 weeks period, like you're going for a vacation. So we actually go throughout ensuring that you're not just developing you as a leader, but also the people around you. So it's actually a community effort as well as the connection or the impact you're doing on the ground. I think when you go for, like, say, one of our projects in Rwanda, you will meet people in Germany, in Malaysia, in Thailand, who's doing the same project like you. So it's this environment where, again, it's very hard for you to set up by your own. So we help set this up environment in a very safe environment for you to understand yourself, the people around you. And I think that's a very good point when you actually tell to your employers, you are willing to take this step to understand yourself, the people around you, and at the same time create an impact. And that's 3 key points that I think a lot of people, any AIESECers, or we call them AIESECers, people who have been to our program, we call them AIESECers, any of our programs, they always have these 3 points. what they have made for themselves, what they have made through the others, and what are the impact they've done to the local communities.
So talk to us about the programs itself. I know that we look at them as opportunities for gap year students, but a gap year student, as you described, doesn't just take a year after secondary school. They can even do it after they graduate from university. So what is a gap year experience that a student can look forward to if they join AIESEC?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. When it comes to gap year experience, a lot of people define gap year experience as an opportunity for evaluating yourself, understanding your career choices, or maybe just taking a break from a very stressful situation. One of the ideal case when it comes to having a gap experience with AIESEC is that you can take multiple projects throughout the whole year, which we open. So, for example, in the first 2 to 3 months, you can take a project in Malaysia, and the next one during summer, you can take some projects in Germany, and then during winter and so on, you can take some projects in Turkey. So having this, a lot of people do, again, believe it or not, we actually put a cap. You can only go up to 5 projects throughout your lifetime in AIESEC as an organization, which you can take from the age of 18 to 30 years old. So a lot of people adjust their calendar to see how best they can maximize these opportunities. But most of the time, people will either go for 1 or they would either go for 5. But most of the people take their, not their gap year, but take this program during the summer break. But of course, there is a lot of people that actually take during the gap year before they actually enter university or right after university. But I would suggest to take it during your university years or before, because your priority will then change after university as you seek more of an employment opportunity. And that's a very limited choices that you have, because you're looking for internship opportunities that generate financials, but again, you don't have enough experience, but you don't want to take volunteering opportunities. So my advice is try to take it before you graduate so that you can easily transition with the skills for the right job opportunity.
Tell us a little more about the membership part of AIESEC. So it's not just about going abroad, there's also a membership. What is the membership about, and why is it something that a young person would want to join and be part of?
Yes, I think the membership is also a part of the organization. Our organization are built by members. We have around 40,000 members. And this is not just members in a program that you subscribe as a club, right? These members work with the organization 5 hours a week. Sometimes they work as a part-time job, 25-hour weeks. They travel around the world facilitating this program. And they're actively immersed in this whole experience of organizing events, giving exchange. And this is something that you would not get, even when I'm working at the moment, I would not get this experience on my first year of my job opportunity, right? And this is where AIESEC members are very unique in terms of experience. These AIESEC members get trained on the specific department that they are focused on. If they're doing marketing, they get trained by the AIESEC members itself on marketing. If they're doing business development and sales, they are getting trained. And this happens completely for free. The way that we do this is that we rely on our programs, the funds that we get on our programs, to then support our AIESEC members to grow themselves professionally. So they also have the opportunity to jump to different departments, just like any company or any organizations. We have business development, we have human resource, we have operations. And I think one of the crucial parts AIESEC emphasizes leadership. So within the organization, we have multiple layers of leadership positions that you can take. Just giving you a background, you start as an AIESEC member, and then you can apply after 3 months to apply as a team leader. And then for the next 3 months, you can become a local committee vice president. At the moment, we have 3 local committees in Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and Dubai. And then, of course, you can apply as a local committee president. And there's a lot of opportunities having this position as well, because you basically represent Dubai. So you get invited to international congresses, you get invited to regional president meeting or international president meeting with other countries. So, like I said, these opportunities are quite vast and just for everyone to experience. And sometimes, like I say, a lot of times is when people get out of AIESEC, they realize how there's so much gap in terms of job opportunities that they just want to quickly be in that leadership role. So this is somehow, I would say, Lord, it's our dry run for you to experience a leadership role so that you don't have to wait 2 to 3 years to climb up that ladder. You can have it within the organization, develop yourself, your critical thinking skills, people skills, time management, and so on, so that once you transition, you have the caliber that you need to actually perform right off the bat.
I think that's a really great opportunity. Many students, when they do go and pursue an undergraduate degree, they go into leadership courses or management courses without really having any kind of context. So from what you're describing, it's also an opportunity for an undergraduate student to look at putting into practice some of the theory they're learning in a lecture hall and kind of putting it into practice at work. Amazing, amazing. I could jump into so many more questions. I'm really conscious of our time. Just kind of rounding it up now, what would you say are your 3 career tips that a young person should really listen to and pay attention to? Because not only will they work in their future career, but they'll also work along that journey of their future career.
Wow, that's really hard to summarize in 3, but I'll try my best to do that. Again, most of my experience working is actually with AIESEC. So 4 years of my working experience is with AIESEC, and currently I'm the president of AIESEC in the UAE. I think summarizing my experience and also the tips. Number 1 is actually just take the opportunities. As a young people, you have so much support with your families, with the people around you, that you can just take any opportunities and fail. And we do see that a lot in AIESEC. A lot of team members feel of not taking an opportunity, because AIESEC, for me, I was very grateful to have this experience because I can take as much risk as I want, and the organization will bear and ready to bear that risk, which again, we will not get as much in the outside world. So take that risk, take that opportunity. Number 2 is find the right support system that you want to be around with. It's really crucial that you have the people that is actually having the same discussion with you when it comes to leadership opportunities. You feel that's a really smooth process. And that's what we do in AIESEC as well. We encourage people to take leadership opportunities. We motivate them, we praise them, we give them the social support, the psychological support, the mental well-being as well. I think you have to find this very actively, not just wait and hope for leader is established, especially in your career. You don't want to burn out, because like I said, in careers, it's very easy burnout because people are just maybe too focused on their work. They're not focused on their mental health and well-being. And I think the last part is just try to focus on what makes you happy in terms of your roles and the things that you do. A lot of the time when you become a newbie, you might not have the decision to select the task that you need. And that's something that you have to accept for the first 1 to 2 years in any leadership experience. But once you take up any position as a team leader, you have to learn that you have to select the task that is right for you. And I think that's the most crucial part. In any human resources, you should only ensure that you deliver tasks that is fit for your need, that you can do well. So try to learn how to delegate, learn how to use your time effectively. And I think with that 3 tips, you'll be more quality in terms of your personal well-being, and also like all goes back to fulfillment of your potential as a humankind.
Sounds great. And that number 3, that's a lifelong practice, isn't it? Learning how to delegate and just focusing on those things that you can do well. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for being here and for introducing AIESEC. I know that we'll have parents and students really curious about how they can find you. What would the best port of call be if they're looking to reach out?
I think the best mode of communication for us is where all the young people are on our Instagram. So we're very, very active on our Instagram, AIESEC UAE. We also have our website, aisec.org. You can go ahead, explore what we have to offer, just dive into all the opportunities that you are interested in, no matter which countries that you are in. Just drop us a message, or you can just give us a call on our WhatsApp that we have. Be more than happy to just answer any of the questions that you have.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you for being here with me. And thank you, everybody. That brings us right to the end of another incredible conversation. Today, we were speaking with Ahmed Nadzry, who is the president of AIESEC. We were talking about all things opportunities. If you are a student watching this and you're thinking about how can you gain leadership skills, what can you do outside the classroom, you definitely want to have a look at. And if you are planning a gap year and you don't know what you want to be doing, have a look at what is available at AIESEC. We'll see you all at our next Let's Talk Careers with Ms.V.
Thank you.